Today?
All right,
chill.
go. I'm not even here.
Yeah. So today we're at the food court because we're talking about a conversation recording device that will evaluate your conversation. Maybe you're talking too much. Maybe I'm talking too much.
Maybe you're too quiet.
Maybe I'm using a word too much. Maybe I talk too fast. Maybe I should chill out a little bit.
Maybe you're too loud.
But no one knows this because no one tells us this. Something should tell us.
Welcome to Could Be Genius, where half-baked ideas get to shine.
We're not here to make it perfect, just to see how far it goes. Then it's your problem. Have you ever had something in your teeth, like parsley, let's say? You went home, you just hung out with like some friends, you saw like 4 friends, and then you had a meeting. This all happened after lunch, and then you go to the bathroom, you wash your hands, and you look in the mirror, and you see like this big parsley thing in your front teeth.
The question is if I had that.
And this happened at lunchtime 3 hours ago.
Yeah. Yes.
And after this lunch, you saw so many people.
Yeah. You were laughing the whole time.
And no one, even close friends, even your coworker who you think is your best friend, didn't say anything to you.
Yeah, it happened. Dude, it happened to me
Does
a few weeks ago.
It did?
You know what happened?
What?
In the morning, I made myself a smoothie with blueberries.
Uh-huh.
Blueberries, the skin of blueberries, they are a bit sticky.
Yeah.
They tend to stick on your teeth.
Right.
And I also had chia seeds in it. Healthy guy.
Chia seeds are dangerous.
So I had the smoothie at home. Then I went to work. Then, I don't know, I had some water in the meantime. Then I had some meetings. And then I went to pee at work.
Yeah.
And I was washing my hands, and I
Did you
check my teeth, and I saw like on my front tooth, there's like a whole, it's covered in blueberry.
The blueberry is like, dude.
Yeah, and I was like, Jesus, I just had this meeting, no one told me. Probably like 20 people saw it, so yes, it happens.
Right.
It happened more than once already.
So, even if, your zipper down, things like that, happens to me a lot. So,
Yeah.
I don't know if this is what triggered this idea, but it was one of those things where self-awareness, like you realize things, but sometimes you realize them too late. And you're like, I wish I knew earlier.
Okay.
The other thing is, if you want to see how a new pair of pants fits, what would you do? What's the first thing you would do? You're putting on a new pair of pants and you want to see how they fit on you. What would you do?
You look in the mirror.
Right. Because the mirror, you look in the mirror and it tells you, right? Like, okay, it's too big, it's too small, whatever, it doesn't fit right. Makes my ass look big. I don't know, I don't know how it fits in my crotch region, things like that. And I was thinking, right now we're talking and I'm talking, but I have no idea what I'm saying.
Me neither, dude. But let's keep it going.
Yeah, right. I have no idea. But why don't we, again, let me go a little bit further back. We spend a lot of time learning how to speak, how to practice speaking, but we never reevaluate what we're saying.
Yeah.
We never see like, okay, how did that sound? Did I talk too fast? Did it sound right? Am I pronouncing the words correctly?
Yeah.
Am I mispronouncing the word?
In school they teach you though, right?
Well, yeah, in school they teach you words.
Yeah. I remember.
Doesn't mean you say them right 10 years later in your life.
Well, no, small anecdote. I remember in one of my high school English classes, you probably also had to do it, where you're reading a book like as a class. So basically everyone's reading and then the teacher is like, now you, now Patrick, now I don't know. John, and then you have to pick in where the other person stopped. And everyone's listening. And it happened to me that I had to read a certain phrase in English. And I remember to this day, I don't know why, because it wasn't a big thing actually, that the teacher, she stopped me and she was like, you have to make sure when you're reading a question that your intonation goes up towards the end. So instead of saying, how was it? You say, how was it? You know, it goes up at the end. Like that's one of the things that made me think of it now. Yeah.
Yeah, because when you speak, you don't have like this out of body experience where you can see yourself speaking and hear how you say things, you know, like your brain is just working on saying what you want to say, but how
Yeah.
it sounds, how you're presenting it.
Okay.
Maybe I'm using a word too much, which I do, by the way.
Yeah.
I started watching our podcast and I say you know a lot. And I wouldn't have known that unless I watched the podcast,
Let's see how often you say it today.
you know? So I say so a lot. But wouldn't it be cool if there was a device, you know, that would monitor
You know.
the ideas?
No, you said
What?
you know.
Exactly. You know, I say you know. A device that monitors where I could say, after this podcast, I can look at it and say, you said you know 30 times.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, Jesus Christ, I want to start, say, maybe 5 times is okay, but 30 times is too
Yeah.
much. So I consciously don't use that anymore, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And there's other things, you know, some people maybe speak too fast, maybe there's certain, you know, and it shouldn't be limited to, you know, presentations, things like that, but it should also be
Daily
in your
life.
daily life. Like right now we're sitting down and talking, you meet friends, you have discussions with them one-on-one, maybe a group discussion.
Yeah.
Like how are these, who's rating these discussions? How did it go? Was I being empathetic when my friend told me a problem? Was I talking too much? Should I be listening more? Should there be a balance?
So
See, right now this monitor would say, I'm not letting you talk, I'm talking too
I was
much.
gonna say now.
It was like, dude, let him talk.
Stop interrupting.
Like,
him.
you got your point, you pause and you let the other person talk. Go ahead.
So that's what you're looking for, a possibility where you get like feedback in a social setting. Because I get the point, because I think in a lot of cases, even your close friends, coming back to this blueberry thing, I have this, this blueberry
Parsley.
or parsley on my tooth, and I see it 2 hours later. The first thing that's in my head is like, dude, why did no one tell me?
You're right.
Right? But people tend to be like, oh, that guy, I'm not gonna tell him. Or you have like a little
They're
snotty
embarrassed for you.
you. But that makes it
But
even
then,
worse.
you know, but then there's those, you know, maternal people out there who's like, hey, you have something, you know, they pull you aside and they're very confident about it.
Yeah.
They don't want to make you feel stupid. And I think this is the idea, you know, something that can do that, not to belittle you, not to, you know, make you feel
help you.
stupid, to help you, you know, and then I
Yeah.
think...
So it gives you live feedback in a social setting. It tells you you're talking too loud, you're talking too much, you're too quiet, you're interrupting other people. Those things it tells you,
Right.
in a live way. But how live is it? Like during the conversation? Like
Well,
right now it's like...
Well, I never said live. I mean, it could be live. I mean, live would also be... It doesn't need to be live, you know. It could also tell you afterwards.
Yeah.
So it
I
would
think
have...
that's better probably.
Yeah, I think afterwards, it, you know, it evaluates your whole, you know, conversation, the whole setting. And then afterwards, it gives you feedback, like a coach.
No, I think it makes sense. Coming back to the podcast, I also watched it. I'm one of our top listeners probably. And in the beginning, I got note that I say a lot, like because we're talking about new things and we're like, yeah, it could be like this or like that. And I often said, whatever. Like it could be a digital solution, whatever. I started watching our first episodes and like you say, you know, I say whatever for like 30 times per episode. And now I'm also avoiding
You
it.
say whatever.
Yeah, I don't say it anymore. But I said it a lot in the beginning and no one told me. I saw it, but it
What
would have
part-
been good if someone told me in the beginning.
Like,
know?
what, I never picked up on that.
Yeah, well,
So, like, you say, so I present a great idea and you say, whatever.
I say, yeah, I think it's a great idea. It could be, maybe it's a digital solution, maybe it's
Or like a filler.
blah 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 solution, whatever.
It's whatever as a filler.
Yeah, I use
Yeah.
it as a filler.
Also,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you remember. I mean, of course, if you're recording yourself, let's say you have a podcast, let's say you are the type of person who always recording videos and things like that, and you listen to yourself, then yeah, you get more familiar with the way you talk, the way you sound, and then you can make certain adjustments based on that. The point is you become conscious
Yeah.
of the way you speak, the
That's
sound,
true.
the
That's
words you use. Am I using too certain repetitive words, etc.? So I think this would help people who are not in that setting, who don't really record themselves.
So how would the solution work? How do you get the
Do
feedback?
you remember? I remember there was a specific time when I recorded myself. I was young. I was like 7. And I recorded myself because I didn't know how I sounded. How do you know how you sound unless you record yourself, right? So I had this recorder, blah, blah, blah. I thought it was cool. So I pressed record and I recorded myself and I said something and I played it back. And I remember this very specifically. I heard my voice for the first time. Because how else do you hear your voice?
Yeah.
I mean, I hear it now, but it probably doesn't sound
It's not
the same.
Yeah.
It sounds different when you record it. And I was kind of shocked. I was like, dude, I sound like an idiot.
But dude,
You
that's,
think,
I think
newsflash.
I think that's something everyone relates to.
Yeah.
Everyone had this moment when they hear themselves on a video or whatever, that they are like, dude, is that really how I sound? I think everyone relates to that. I don't know why that is, but I think a lot of people don't like to hear their own voice in a video.
Right.
Yeah. So you're not alone in this, huh?
Well, imagine, back in the day before there were mirrors, you never seen yourself and you don't even know the idea of seeing yourself. And all of a sudden, like your mom sends you to get some water from the river. You bent over and
who's that?
You're like, you got scared a little bit, maybe. I don't know. Like maybe
Well, maybe you did. It's like the dogs. The videos of the dogs who see themselves in the mirror and they think it's another dog. And then they start barking.
I've seen it with the cats.
Yeah.
Where they and then they start fighting with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's one of those things. And also I think it's the first thing to say is some people will say, I don't care, I don't want to hear how I sound, I'd rather not know, I'd rather be oblivious to it and I'll just go as But I think it's important to, when you're in a position where you're presenting stuff at work, it might matter, it might matter how you sound. It might matter, am I doing a pause between explaining things?
All right, I get the point.
Yes.
How would that work? How do you get the feedback?
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about the technology, right? So how do you get the feedback? By the way, things like this exist already. I know in Teams, for example, when you have a Teams call, you can record yourself, and I do think you can get feedback.
Yeah.
I think so. I've never done it, but I think you can do it.
Okay.
So it would work it would have to record you.
Probably, yeah.
And I know that's also a little bit freaky. It's a little bit creepy also.
Okay, but let's jump.
But it would record you,
yeah.
and then it would analyze your conversation.
It only records you, or it records the whole conversation?
You can decide. Let's say you want to practice at home, you want to practice a presentation, it just records you, you practice your presentation, it gives you feedback. It doesn't just give you feedback, it can give you feedback on timing, pausing, word repetition,
saying
choice of vocabulary, business level vocabulary, pronunciation, British English, American English, blah, 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 whatever. So it would have certain settings, of course.
Yeah.
And it could give you, it could be very open, very clear feedback. It could be more coaching feedback. What you did was great, but maybe focus on this type of thing. So I think it depends on how you want it to be.
But so it records you?
It has to record you. Maybe it can also measure the level of the vocals that are coming out of you.
Also intonation and stuff.
Intonation.
Like you're talking too monotone, you have to jump out a bit more, be more, wow! Excited.
This is where for our sound nerds, audio nerds, who are following these whole there's wavelengths, right?
Wavelengths, and peaks and peaks and
everything I say now is bullshit, but peaks and waves and vibrations and
Vibrations.
yeah. So it would measure those type of things, and it would recognize my voice is different than your voice.
Yeah.
So even if we're having a dialogue now, it doesn't need to understand exactly the words that we're using, but it can also measure the exchange of the rate of exchange, who talked more, who talked less, what are the pauses. So it could even go into that level. It doesn't have to be words necessarily.
I think it's a nice example. Like I'm imagining, and I'm sure you had it as a student as well. You have to give a certain presentation. Maybe you have to defend your master thesis, for example.
Right.
Obviously, you prepare at home. You say your presentation like 50, maybe even 100 times at home in your room. Then you ask your parents, "Can you come in? I'm going to present it to you. Give your feedback and so on." So I think if you're alone, it makes a lot of sense to have something recorded. I'm sure a lot of people record themselves already right now, but then they are the ones listening to it and saying, yeah, okay, maybe I should do this or that. So if you would have like this tool that records you and gives you feedback based on the data that it finds, I think it makes a lot of sense. Like you're too stressed, you're talking too fast, you have to leave pauses between your sentences. You need to bring more intonation, you need to be more enthusiastic. I don't know, you're saying too much, those things. I think that would be very valuable for sure students, but even at work, if you have to present something to, I don't know, upper management and you're a bit nervous too, I think it can calm you down as well. I think that's a nice example. When it comes to group conversations, I think it would be valuable as well, because I also have a few friends, not name dropping here, but I can think of examples of people who speak very fast with not that much, like they don't round the words so nicely.
They slur.
Yeah, they slur and it's super, super fast, so you really have to focus to understand. I also know people who in a more social setting speak a lot, like who are very extrovert, who speak a lot, but the thing is then if you're in a setting with some more not introverted, but not extroverted people, then they don't really get so much opportunity anymore to join the conversation if one person is very dominant in it. So I think in such a setting it would be very valuable as well. The point there is this thing that you mentioned, it's creepy to record. One thing is to record your own voice, another thing is to record a whole room. Because if I go I'm in a work meeting with 10 other people from my company, maybe some external people, I assume I cannot use this solution.
Well, it depends.
Because everyone would have to say, yeah, for me it's fine.
Well, today too, when you have these group meetings, and you can record them, as I said, on Teams, for example, people ask, we're going to record this meeting, so we have our notes, blah, 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 at the end. Is everyone okay with us recording it? Everyone says, okay, it's fine, and then you record it. Yeah. I think same with this. This is your own thing. You're giving a presentation now in a group of 20 people. You would just mention it to them. I would common decency say, yeah, just so you know, I'm using blah, 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 just to, for my own sake, to improve my, is it okay for everyone if I record it?
Yeah.
And I think another thing I was thinking about, just
watch out so that it doesn't.
This type of thing also could maybe after it records it and gives you the evaluation, it can delete it. Why would you keep it? Because the recording is only for this coach to give you the evaluation. Once you get the evaluation, maybe you get the evaluation, bam, it deletes it.
I just know
for
it's
security reasons and things
it's just
like
something
that.
where people are paranoid about with the whole
this creep factor.
With the whole AI thing, but it's true. I know Copilot already records team calls and summarizes them. But as far as I know, they don't give like individual feedback. Like you talked too much, you should have said more, blah blah blah. The thing that it gives you right now is who talked when, and who talked how many minutes. Like you have a 1 hour meeting, you talked 20 minutes, John talked 30 minutes, and I only talked 10 minutes. So this you can see, but it doesn't tell me like, maybe you should have answered that, or maybe you should have, talked in that way.
Have you ever been in a meeting where it's one of those interactive meetings, and everyone's talking a lot, and you're like, oh shit, I better say something.
Yeah.
And you just say some random shit that doesn't really, but just to say
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
You do that?
I don't know. I usually don't say anything at all.
Yeah, you're,
Like,
you're the
whatever.
loser in the room who like
Yeah.
doesn't say anything.
I don't know. For me, the loser.
But
is
I'm
the,
self-conscious about that.
For me, the loser is the person who says something that doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm that idiot. I'm that guy.
You're the loser.
Yeah, I'm the loser. But yeah, I think it's important for me. It's important at least, and even for my I like to be the guy. If I see something that is not right, I should say it. I think it's my
Yeah.
responsibility as a friend. If I was a manager and I was in a situation with my team and I noticed something, I think you have to say it in a nice way. Of course, you need to say it and make it positive. But it's good to get this type of feedback. Some people like to be in denial. Some people like to walk around all day with that parsley or the chia seed in their tooth
Yeah.
and not know about it. I don't. So for me, this
Okay.
makes sense.
I want to know more about the technical part of this
Yeah.
though, because I think it's clear now what we're trying to do. You mentioned it's a thing that records you. How does it work? Like it's something that I have on my phone that starts recording me and that transcripts everything. And
It could be something like this. It could be something in the form of earpods, right? You put it in your ear. It could be something on your watch. But I think as far as technology is concerned, it would need to have a recording device. Whether it records the words, whether it records certain frequency, things like that, I don't know what it would record, but it depends. I think initially, maybe it could be a frequency, an exchange thing, a vibration thing, where maybe just analyzes how fast you talk, pauses between your sentences,
how much you talk.
the interchanging between two people, who's talking
Yeah.
more, who's talking less. So it could be very primitive in the beginning in that
Yeah.
sense. It does not need to analyze words. And the technology nowadays, I know it's advancing so fast. So I think the technology is there to do this already.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's crazy, and I'm just putting the spotlight on me too. To this day, I was thinking about this the other day. To this day, I still don't understand how phones work.
Loser.
Yeah. The fact that I can talk into a device and on the other side of the world, instantly they hear not only what I'm saying,
Yeah.
it's in my voice.
Yeah, it's crazy.
How does my voice, your voice is different than my voice, but on the phone, it will sound, your voice will be your voice, my voice will be my
Yeah.
voice, and yeah, I can see already people unsubscribing from this podcast
For real.
because I
now
put
it's the time they are like, oh my god, those guys they don't know
I'm out.
shit. I'm out. All right, it was
All
good
right.
until now.
All right, thanks for listening, guys. Please subscribe. It's a wrap.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I
but-
mean, I think the technology is there already.
So
honestly.
the technology is
Just
there.
let me come back on. Sorry. Let me come back on the watch. I like that idea. You know how a lot of people have like those smart watches? Right?
Yes.
It's connected to your phone.
Yes.
I could see a scenario where,
Everything's connected to your phone.
yeah, the watch as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
I can see a scenario where, let's say I'm the guy who, like, I don't stop talking.
You are that guy.
We're like, let's go for a beer.
What do you mean, what if I'm the guy?
Let's go for a
Aye.
beer. And I'm just like talking the whole time. I'm like, yeah, and then this happened, and then at work this and that, and da da da. And then I wait like 1 second, and then you're like, yeah, you know what happened to me? And then I'm like, yeah, you know also what happened, da da da. So imagine this. It's like a worst case. After meeting, you go home, and you're like, dude, that guy, he just keeps on talking. I could imagine I have a smartwatch.
Yeah.
And I'm talking. Maybe it's connected with my phone. This phone is connected with this device that records my conversation and sees how
It's
much
the
we talk
electric
in the conversation.
shock.
And it gives me like an alert at
Yeah,
some point, like
stop.
subtile,
Shut the fuck
it doesn't
up.
start beeping or whatever.
Right.
But maybe it's like zzz, zzz, and I'm talking, and I look at my watch, and it says like, stop fucking talking. And I see it, and then it says, let the other guy talk as well. And I'm like, okay, You didn't see it, I saw it, but it makes me conscious like, whoa, okay, I have to hear you as well.
I like how you set yours on the unfiltered mode. Because there's an unfiltered mode where it just tells you straight up, shut the fuck up, you're talking too much, give the other person a chance. And there's the other one where it says, you know what, good job explaining your point, but
Nice try.
but let the other people also.
Yeah.
No, that's true. I think that could totally.
So-
You could also make a game out of it. You know, when let's say you hang out with your friends, you guys are playing cards at home. You have 4 friends there. You guys are drinking, and let's play a game. You know, like and you set certain things. Who talks most? Who's the funniest one? Who gets the most laughs? And you can tally up game. Maybe make a game out of it. You know,
Yeah.
it tallies up certain thing, and at the end of the night, you guys look it up and say, "Yeah, I was the funniest.
I won.
You suck."
Who's the sucker?
Yeah, who's the winner in this one?
Yeah. So I think in some case it can also like give you a live update, maybe even over a smartwatch or
Yeah.
something. Like you have been talking 80% of the time. Are you sure that's what you want to do?
You know what would be cool? I just thought of. What if it says, "Go to the bathroom. You need a bathroom break." You're like, "Okay, I have to go bathroom, guys." You go to the bathroom, and it talks to you and tells you, it coaches you.
Oh yeah.
It says, "Dude, you know what?
What's happening?
What's happening?
What
you
are
need
you
some
doing?"
jokes? Do you need to like? You're not really
Yeah. Or
partaking.
you're on a date with someone, like a first date. You met
Ooh.
someone, you're on a date.
Tinder.
You know how they go to the bathroom to call their friends and stuff? Like, yeah, oh my god, the guy he's so hot, blip blip bloop. Or girl.
Yeah.
Imagine it's something like this. You're talking to the girl, you're a bit nervous and so on, and then you're like, yeah, I'm quickly gonna use the bathroom. And then this thing tells you everything.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, probably she doesn't care about you. It's time to go home. Or this thing is like, yeah, it's going well. Maybe you should just ask her about this, and that because she mentioned earlier this, so blah, blah, blah. Again, privacy stuff.
Creepy. Yeah, this goes into the creepy.
creepiness,
Yeah.
But it could help.
Yeah,
though.
I think so. I think everyone looks for a coach.
Yeah.
You have a coach for everything nowadays, right? So it's your coach. It gives you advice, positive advice, whatever advice. And I think everyone needs this. It's something that we would want to see how we are doing in this conversation.
Yeah.
And you know, how many times did I say you know today? Maybe, you know,
And
probably
no
like
one
I
knows.
would guess 50 times.
Yeah, too often.
But I would, if I had this app, it would tell me.
Yeah, it would be interesting after this podcast now to see some stats, to see how much did you talk, how much did I talk. You talked 55%, I
Who
talked
interrupted who?
45%. Who interrupted who?
Guilty.
Who was talking in the most, you know, it would be nice to see
You
those
know.
things.
You know.
Yeah, man, I can
What
say
if
I
every
don't have the
time? What
issue
if you
with
could
the,
set
you
it
know.
where you say, every time I say you know, it sends me a vibration. That's it.
What if
It
you-
doesn't record anything. It's just every time I say you know, I get a
Yeah.
vibration.
Or you have a necklace and it
It shocks.
you know.
Well, that will condition
That
me
would
really
stop,
quickly to not
exactly.
say you know. So,
Yeah.
you know.
But that could be an extension.
Could be a drinking game too.
Yeah.
Every time I say
Yeah.
you know, you take a drink.
No, the last thing I want to mention from my side, I think what would also be interesting is if you have this device on, it's running with you, maybe it's connected with your watch, you have a conversation, 3-4 people, everything is being tracked. That afterwards you go home, you as we mentioned, you can see some stats. This thing tells you or writes to you, whatever it would be, whatever. Then it gives you, so it says you're talking too fast, you're not clear enough, and you're saying too often.
Pronounce your words better.
Yeah. Pronounce your words better and say less. Okay, so those are this is the feedback you get after you're home,
Yes.
and then it automatically links you to some exercises. So it says, okay, this is your problem, so try those exercises.
Work on this.
Yeah, work on this. And maybe I thought about it now, maybe it could be a bit like the Duolingo thing. You try to remain a streak, you try to do one lesson per day. So one time per day you try to do certain exercise where you're saying, I don't know, a complicated sentence without saying or complicated words, and you try to oh. Kein Stress, kein Stress.
Oh, sorry.
No, no, it's okay.
We had a little interference.
Yeah, podcast.
Yeah.
Podcast. No problem.
Construction going on.
It's okay to leave it there?
Leave it there.
Yeah. Okay. Wait, where was it? Yeah.
so it has
gives
like
you
a
some-
training associated
Yeah,
to the feedback.
Exactly.
And I think companies could utilize this as well, because I know a lot of people who have to give presentations, who are maybe starting to give more presentation, they want to take classes to give presentation.
Yeah.
So even a device like this can coach them, can train them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And
maybe
I
it
think
connects
that's
you
a-
with certain people.
I think that's a good addition to this whole, because we don't want to just get feedback, but maybe we need more training.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a training thing.
Yeah.
So it kind of opens up the door for that.
No, I like it. I think it's a good idea. I think the technology is there. I think a lot of people would be interested in using it and getting feedback without having to rely on your friends or people who are at work who will never really tell you how it was. The only thing is maybe the thing that, you know, the creepy factor where everything is recorded, your voice is recorded. So that's a decision people have to make if they want to do it. But I think it could help in a lot of cases. Yeah.
Before we end,
Oh, I ended already.
we're done. Okay.
No,
Then
go.
let's leave this for the outtakes. But another thing I was just thinking of, it would be also interesting. Not that it doesn't have to record it live, but what if there is a play you did, the presentation you did that happened to be recorded, or a podcast, or whatever you did, you recorded already.
Oh, yeah, you
could
put
you
it in.
feed it in there,
Yeah.
and then it reevaluates
Yeah,
it?
that's
It could
nice.
even review movies. It can remove news podcast, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And it gives you feedback.
Oh, that's a good addition.
I never looked into this. Maybe it exists already, but it gives you feedback on
Yeah.
stuff that's already been recorded.
That would be cool. You just upload it and it tells you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when we started the podcast, you
Yeah.
upload the first episode, it gives you feedback. Like, be more enthusiastic, be more dynamic.
Wait, we did that?
Be more, I don't know what.
Oh, you made it sound like we did that. We
No,
didn't-
if we would have
but
done
we
it.
should have done that.
Get another guy to
We
do
probably
it.
would have changed our whole complete podcast by now if
Yeah.
if this
Probably
existed.
we have to
Yeah, it probably would tell us, you know what?
just
Quit. Stop it.
stop trying
Just
so
stop
hard.
talking. Period. There's no coaching
Yeah.
behind that. All right, but that's
All
the
right,
idea.
yeah.
I think we explained
No, we
everything.
explained
I think
yeah.
we covered it. It's getting a little louder now
It's
around
getting,
us. Yeah.
Noisy. They're
Yeah.
trying to push
So
our
maybe a good time
camera.
to wrap it up.
So I think it's time to go.
Check out the full podcast on Spotify, YouTube. Subscribe. Thanks for listening. Comments always welcome. And please tell us how many times whatever.
You say whatever, yeah.
You say whatever.
I say whatever.
You say whatever, and I say you know.
You know, maybe you have a
All right.
stopwatch. I think
Okay,
everyone
maybe
has.
you guys can be our coach.